Hey hunks, Kelsey Andrews here from Attack Fitness. This week's workouts are all about the bands. So, I know every one of you has at least one or two of these hanging around in the basement. If anyone has these ones, thick, thin, whatever, we're gonna be using all sorts of bands this week. I'm gonna make sure to show you a couple different options with each exercise, depending on what type of band you have. Stay tuned, have fun, and let's get stretchy. Ben, good morning. Feet shoulder width apart, stand on the band. This time it's gonna come up and over, okay? Onto those shoulders. You can leave them on the shoulders this time. We're gonna try and keep our legs as straight as we can, and we're gonna do a strict hip hinge. So we're taking the chest towards the far wall. You're gonna feel a ton of hamstring tension, and then we're gonna come back up. So for me, I use a really light band for this particular movement. I don't need much external resistance to feel it. I'm gonna drive through my heels. I'm gonna keep my torso nice and neutral so I'm not extending through any part of my spine. Banded squat. We're gonna start first with our circle band. Make sure that when you're doing all of these band exercises, especially the lower body, that you're wearing shoes because we will be stepping on the band. So we're gonna step into our loop and get the loop right underneath the arches of the feet. And this guy's not too heavy, so we're actually gonna take this up and over our head, and we're gonna create a position that looks like we would if we had a barbell on our back. Like so, okay? Feet shoulder width apart, all the same rules apply as when you do a barbell squat. We're gonna think about maintaining that neutral spine. As we sit down, we're gonna take our hips and really slide them back. We're gonna keep our chest nice and tall. We're gonna breathe out as we come up, keeping the weight in the heels. Now, again, you guys know, I've got some mobility issues here, so I'm not passing any judgment on my personal ability to do this, but you know what you need to do. If you're a beginner, you could even do this to a chair and replicate like a box squat, okay? If you do not have this type of loop, if you have handled loops, we're gonna do the exact same idea. We're gonna step on the loop, okay? And we're gonna bring these up, and we're gonna pretend to hold them like a barbell, okay? It's not quite as comfortable, I don't think, or maybe a little bit more, I don't know. Okay, lowering down, setting the hips back. Making sure we really squeeze at the top. Banded deadlift. So, grab your circle loop, fold it in half. This one's a bit beefier because we're pulling some big muscles. We're gonna make sure that we step right over top of it with both feet. So double up the band, okay? Nice grip. Just like you would if you were on a barbell deadlift, you're gonna drop the hips down. Okay, chest is high. We're gonna push through the heels. We're gonna come straight up. Rotate the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. Make sure that we keep tension in that band the whole time. We don't wanna get wiggly with it at the bottom. We don't wanna collapse through our upper body. I'll go profile for you guys. Okay, so we wanna stay in tension as much as possible, okay? If you have the other kind of band, this one's a bit trickier. So what you need to do is you need to make like a circle loop, okay? And then you gotta step on it. And then you gotta wiggle your feet wide. So again, we're just shortening the loop. That's the key, okay? Then once we're in this position, exact same rules apply. So bum down, chest high. Gotta shorten this. There we go. Okay, bum down, chest high. Keeping the tension in the upper back so we're not collapsing. Okay, everything's nice and squeezed. Again, if you've got better mobility, you can get even lower to the ground if you shorten up the band. Banded sumo squat. So we're gonna take our circle band again. We're gonna step into it like we did for the back squat. We're gonna put this bad boy up and over our shoulders, okay? And again, I like to keep my hands here just so it's not digging on my neck, okay? We're gonna take our legs nice and wide, just like we would if we were doing an actual sumo squat. Nice and tall. Again, we're gonna lower the hips down, set them back, keeping our chest high, but this time we're gonna let our knees go nice and wide. hands here. That feels the best. And that allows you at the bottom position, if they're sort of wrapped on your wrists, you can keep a little tension in the band on the way. Nice work. If you're using the other band, same thing, step into it. Whoop. Okay, good, hands come up, rack, we're gonna get nice and wide, toes point out. Okay, at the top, big rotation and glute squeeze. You're gonna get a nice activation in your big glutey glutes. And profile for you. Banded pull through. We're going to use our circle band for this, and you'll see that I've actually attached it, because I'm in the house again, to 2 weights. So I've got a big 45-pound dumbbell that I've looped it around the handle, and then because these are hex dumbbells, and if you pull them, they just start to roll over your floor, I just put the other one into a T, so that it just prevents it from moving as I use it. Again, go outside, put this on your fence instead. If there's something sturdy in the garage, you don't have to do your entire workout from your living room. If you have to huff around the house a little bit to get it done, okay? So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna step over top of the band, okay? I'm going to grab the band in a double grip, kind of right in my crotch, and I'm gonna walk forward until there's tension on the band, okay? Then what's gonna happen is we're gonna keep our torso nice and tall, so the top of my ponytail is reaching towards the sky, and I'm going to hinge, do a strict hip hinge. We'll get a bit more tension on here. Strict hip hinge. Okay, so you see the band stays in tension and it pulls my arms through my legs. And then to get back up, I'm going to push through my heels, stay nice and tall in the torso, and I'm going to really rotate the pelvis and squeeze the glutes so that I'm getting this really nice posterior pelvic tilt at the top, and you can see my glutes are like in full flexion. Single leg squat with band. So I'm gonna go with a light band because I wanna get lots of wraps around my foot. Okay, I'm gonna stand, I'm actually gonna loop this bad boy right around. So I've got kind of 2 short handles on either side of the leg, okay? I'm gonna step back into a 90-90 position, okay? Nice tall chest, you can see I'm in tension here. I'm gonna roll the shoulders back, I'm gonna make sure I'm in neutral back position, neutral lumbar spine position. We're gonna lower from here, lowering down, and coming straight back up. So you've got to play with the tension on your band so that you can actually stay in tension the entire time. That's the key. Lowering down, staying in tension. As I come up, extending that front knee fully, really getting nice contraction in that quad. Leg, bed leg, glute kickback. So 4-point kneeling position on this bad boy. Okay, we want to make sure we have a nice neutral spine. So again, belly button's pulled up and back is nice and neutral. We're going to take our right leg, we're going to keep it at a 90-degree bend, and we're going to push the bottom of our foot up towards the ceiling. We're going to hold this position, and we're actually just going to do these little tiny micro kicks and pulses. So you're really going to have to resist the urge to do this. A lot of people will get the range through the lumbar spine. We don't want that. We want a fixed pelvis, and we want to pulse the leg up and down. You'll feel the burn. It's pretty great.